My name is Samantha and I am the Huga Stitcher. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before, and welcome if you're a brand new viewer. Thank you for joining me today. Today's a very special episode. It is my 2-year anniversary here on Flosstube. I have been making videos for 2 years. How incredible! Oh my gosh, so amazing. 2 years ago when I decided that I was going to start filming Flosstube, there was probably about 2 years before that I was thinking about it and dreaming about maybe I should do a Flosstube. I wonder if I have enough things that people would be interested in. And I can say I'm so thankful for, just making the jump and doing it, and thankful for all of you who have stuck around, left comments, left encouraging comments, keep going. When you guys leave those kind of comments on my channel, it helps me to stay motivated, and I'm constantly looking for new things to do. How can I improve, those sort of things. So when you leave your comments, it really does mean a lot to me, and it helps me keep going. So thank you. So a part of this video is a thank you to all of you who have been there from the beginning, who have been here for a year, who've been here for 6 months, who's been here for a month. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. So today what I have planned is basically a WIP parade. I have gone through all of my works in progress and made a list of them all, and I'm going to show them all to you today. Over the last 2 years, it has been a goal of mine to build up my WIP pile, my WIP collection. And I had somebody on my last video comment be like, that's really interesting that you're doing that, because I hear a lot of Flosstubers trying to bring their WIP piles down, and here you are trying to build yours up. And I think that's kind of funny, but I have to tell you, I have been inspired by other Flosstubers. One in particular, her name is Brenda, the handwork maniac. If you, many of you know her channel and have watched her videos, but I'm going to link her below so that you can go, if you don't know who she is, you can find her as well. But back in, I believe it was May, during Mania, she did a lovely video, and what she does for Mania really inspired me. Basically what she does is she takes 23 projects, because it was 2023 this year, and she has 23 projects that she's working on, and throughout the month she works on every single project. And then as she saves those 23 projects, and then the very next year, if she's finished any of them, she'll take them off the list and put a new project on. And I thought that was a really great idea. And I'm sort of grabbing parts of that. And my goal for this year is to have 24 projects for Mania for May next year. So I'm working up to building up my collection to 24 WIPs. And it's not an easy job to do. You think it would be easy, just go get some more projects and kit them up, but it takes me time to know which one I want to start. I want to, gather the materials and then get a start on it. And all of that takes time. I actually find that starting a new project takes me a long time just to get to that point where you're putting in those first few stitches. Who can relate? So anyways, I thought it would be a great idea to just jump in and get started. I'm using my book a days, and I've got my list here. In January, I started writing down my projects and when I started them. So we're gonna go through them today. Yeah, exciting. Okay, first one we're gonna start with is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. This is my oldest WIP. I started it in August 2021. It was my birthday start. You'll see throughout the day here, through the video, I have some birthday starts every year. And there always tend to be big projects. That's what I keep doing. But Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow was a design that I had been looking at for many years. Many Flosstubers, Instagrammers have stitched this pattern, and I was feeling so inspired that I'm gonna do it for my birthday. I call this my legacy stitch, because this is gonna take me like 10 years to do. No joke. There's a lot of stitching in this project. I'm stitching mine on a 40 count legacy by Picture This Plus, and I'm using all of the DMs called for DMC. So 1 strand of DMC over 2 strands of linen is how I'm stitching this one, and it looks amazing. I'm so proud of myself. You know, I went for the called for fabric, I believed, and it's hard for me to get Picture This Plus. And it's such a large piece too, but I'm so glad I did that. It really does make the project, it's got that spooky vibe to it. All of the black just pops off of there. And those gray colors and oranges. So this year, I have also made it a goal of mine to make sure that I've touched every single project this year. And as we go through, I think I have touched them all. I think I have. Some of them have had a little more progress than others, but yeah, I wanted to make sure that each project gets some really good progress on them. And this year I had completed this third block here. And just looking at this right now really inspires me to stitch on this again. I love it. You know, of course, I'm trying to get to that spot where I want to stitch my favorite part of the design, which are the two witches in the middle. But I also really love this block here with the ship and the mermaid and the treasure chest. That one's really fun too. But full coverage, that one's like practically full coverage. I love this design. Oh, and I love seeing other stitchers stitch it too. It's really fun. So there we go, that's my oldest WIP. That's my legacy stitch. Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. Okay. Next up, we have Luna by Nora Corbett. I did manage to make really great progress on this one, and I think this year I'm going to finish this one in the month of October. I don't see why I couldn't. There's lots of fun stitching left, but I've made really great progress. All of the pumpkins are done. Look at those sparkly Krynic down there. So amazing. So majority of the stitching is done. I still need to do the wings and part of her dress, some of the colors in her dress here. And then it's time for beading, my favorite part. And I have, I think I have 3 more Bewitching Pixies from this collection that I want to stitch. And I want to get some more of this milk chocolate fabric. This is from Witch Hilt, it's 32 count. And I want to get some more of this chocolate fabric so that I can stitch more of the witches. I have been collecting, you know, I made a list of all of the beads that are needed for these pixies, and I've started to collect them already, but I'm missing the fabric. How amazing is this? I love this one. This is getting a finish in 2023 for sure. I'm looking forward to doing that one again. So I started Luna in October. It was a Halloween start in 2021. This next project is Alice in Wonderland, and I started this also in October 2021. And this one's getting a finish this year too, guys. Oh, I have 3 parts left, and my girlfriend and I, we stitched this design at the same, like, we've got all of our materials and stitched this design at the same time together. And she has 3 parts left, and I have 3 parts left, and we're gonna finish it together this summer. Really excited. And she's done her stitching a little bit different than mine. She incorporates a lot of like specialty stitches in her cross stitch patterns, and she had a lot of fun with hers. So it's gonna be fun to see them together side by side and how different they look. It's gonna be cool. And also we are in different spots in the design. We both have 3 parts left, but we're in different spots. So it's kind of cool. This is Alice in Wonderland. If you've been following my channel, you've seen this design many times. But it's looking so amazing, and I can't wait to finish this. 2 years old almost. Yeah. I'm stitching this on a 32 count vintage country mocha. I believe it's like the stamped, right? So on the back it looks mocha-y, and then on the front it's like vintagey. Got the like marbling to it. Really cool, but I'm glad I decided to stitch it on this fabric. It looks really, really great. So that's Alice in Wonderland, hoping for a finish this year, this summer. Really exciting. And then the next step I have is my stocking. Last month, in the month of July, I have been focusing on some Christmas projects. Oh, upside down. This is the Enchanted Ornament stocking by Dimensions. And this is a project that I'm really hoping to make some progress on throughout the year. I'm taking your advice. Many comments from my last video were like, just keep pulling it out every chance you can and put some stitching into it. So I'm gonna do that because I really want to get, I'm not sure if I'll finish this before Christmas, but I really want to make some really great progress on it. And as I was stitching on it this month, I'm like, oh yeah, I can start to see some of the details coming together. I did this gold stitching, sort of the, you know, the chain of the ornament. And it was using like 1 strand of floss, 2 strands of floss, and 2 strands of the sparkly sort of Krynic, not Krynic, but it's like a sparkly floss to give it a little bit of shimmer. I don't know if it's showing up on there, but I got a little bit at the bottom, and this is a chain starting the next ornament, which is the cardinal. So it's a little bit of the chain going down there. So all of the blue and the white here, these are all half stitches that I think I'll do at the end. But I can do these green colors and the berries and the ornaments. Can definitely do those. It would be fun to get some more of that greenery in here. What I've been working on is stitching all around the ornament. I still have a few more stitches left to go. There's a few spots here up at the top. I just need to fill in a few more pieces. I believe there's some around the bottom, somewhere down here. A couple more stitches, and then I can do the back stitching. I want to completely do all the back stitching of that ornament, get it done. It's gonna pop. So I'm gonna leave this one out. You know, I'm not gonna tuck it away. I'm gonna leave it out and hopefully stitch on it a little bit more here and there throughout the year to get some more progress on that one. I love that. That one is so good. So that was the stocking. The next up is the snowman. So I was working on this last month too. This one's called the Snowman Wish by Thistles. This is the first time I've ever used this designer, Thistles. Really fun. Really cool. It kind of reminds me of like Bent Creek almost. Like it's just sort of the design of it. But what I was able to do, I met my goal that I had for myself, which was to complete page 1 and one of the snowman. So I have, this is also on 32 count vintage country mocha, same as my Alice in Wonderland. This is sort of an extra piece that I had, you know, cut off the bottom of the design, and yeah, had enough for this pattern here. So I got the wishing in, and this snowman, so cute. That little bird on top of his hat has a French knot in there. There's more French knots throughout the design. They're not my favorite to do, but I'll do them. Every time I come across a French knot, I'm always like, I have to watch a video again every time just to figure out how to do it and practice it a few times. And I'm like, okay, it was super easy, but I always have to look it up. So I've completed the border, got the wishing you, the snowman, all done. I'm really proud of myself, yeah. This will inspire me too, now that I have a nice chunk of it done. Next time I bring this out, I'll want to get another snowman in there, and it'll encourage me because now I have more of the design to look at and watch it come together. It's gonna be really fun. Here we go. Snowman Wish You. And I'm keeping this on my floss ring here, which I'm really enjoying using. This has been really fun. Kind of fun way to take your floss off. And there's that beautiful oatmeal color that's used for the snowman. I just love it. It's really fun to see all the colors like this. Next up is Emerald City by Owl Forest Embroidery. Another design by them. This one is getting very close to a finish as well. I think there is 3 more parts or 4 more parts left to this stitch along, and I'm really looking forward to finishing this one up. It's been in the, you know, I started it in January 2022, so it'll be really great before the end of the year to finish this one up as well. This has been a really special project for me. I have been allowing myself to make changes as we go through the design. I've been adding my own elements of sparkle, you know, going through my collection of beads and being like, oh, you know what, these corn could use these orange Magnifica beads. Add those in, you know, add a little bit of purple into this purple magic here. And, you know, you'll see throughout the design, I added ruby red slippers using a DMC sparkly thread. And yeah, the Emerald City has really been the part that I spent the most time trying to decide what I wanted to do. I really was dreaming up a lot of sparkle for Emerald City. So I had purchased some of those Mill Hill crystals and that were in the emerald color there, and added them into the design where I thought they would fit. I also got this cute little bell charm. So in the design, there was a bell stitched, and as I laid it out on top of the fabric, I was like, you know what, it fits perfectly. Like, it's exactly the same size as what the bell is supposed to be stitched. So I thought, okay, I'm adding in a little charm. That was really fun discovery to find. And I think it looks amazing. The last part I worked on was this, the witch here. And I had used DMC Etoile for the first time, which was really fun. It really doesn't show up here on the camera, but it does have just the right amount of sparkle in her dress, the black. So that was really fun to do too. So a few more parts left to do. And you'll notice I have these really adorable needle minders on here. These were a gift from Rogue Mama Stitcher, Amber. You know, I think it was my first year of Flosstube, and well, almost my first year of Flosstube when I had started this stitch. She found these adorable needle minders from Fairy Dust Clay. You can find them on Instagram, and they have their own website. Really, really fun. They do all kinds of fun little figurines. And Amber was really smart. She added a magnet to the back of them and made them into needle minders. That was really fun. So there's Dorothy, the Scarecrow, the Lion, and the Tin Man. I really love having these in my collection. And when Emerald City's done, I'm gonna find a neat way to display these because I want to keep them up. They're so adorable. Love it. Thank you, Amber. I just love them. They're so special to me. Really fun memory to go along with this stitch. And yeah, really appreciated that gift. It was really fun. Share with you another Owl Forest embroidery design. I had started this patchwork calendar in February of 2022, and I'm getting very close to a finish on this one. I have 3 more parts to go. I have 3 more threads, 3 more colors to stitch, and then this one's gonna be a finish. So I'll go through them with you here. This one was the January. These were really fun. You know, it was really simple. When I received this kit, each piece of fabric, there was 12 of them. They were all pre-cut and pre-serged. So that was really convenient just to be able to grab a color, grab a fabric, and stitch to the design. And I really did enjoy just having that one fabric, the one thread, and just a way stitch, and seeing all the variegation that would show up. So that's February. This was March. My plan is to make these into project bags one day. So I'm gonna take all of these pieces of fabric to a fabric store and find some material that will go along with it and make them into project bags. Probably have to get a few different colors. Oh, I love that one with the snails. It's so cute. Really fun colors. This one too, this is a really good one with the butterflies. Look at that. Yeah. This one's bumblebees. Cute. This one's kitty cats. Sort of like dark green, dark blue colors in that one. Cute. This one here is the last one that I did with the foxes. I believe that's September. And then October, November, December. Yeah. October, November, and December left to go. Just about there, everyone. Really excited to finish that one up. And how amazing will it be to have 12 project bags after all of this is done, and I'll be able to add them to my collection and, you know, be able to show them to you as we go along here with new projects in them. That's really fun. So before I forget, I had made a note for myself because I wanted to remind you all about an upcoming Instagram event that's happening. So you need to go follow Kea Bee. She has a video out that she just posted last week. It's about the common threaded stitcher. So this is a hashtag on Instagram and it happens a couple times a year, and this usually every August. And this year it's starting on August 10th and runs through until August 13th. So basically what it is every day there's going to be a prompt, and you can share on Instagram, use the hashtag and follow the hashtag, and you can see other people posting throughout the weekend. And it's kind of like a Stitcher's retreat, an at-home Stitcher's retreat is how Kea described it. They're going to have fun exclusives. There's going to be surprises and giveaways throughout the weekend. There'll be live videos. And it really is just a lot of fun. Last year they had a really fun design by Hello from Liz Matthews, and I have that project. Actually, I want to find it here and show it to you. I have it right here. Common Threaded Stitcher. So if you follow Common Threaded Stitcher on Instagram, you'll be able to find the link to this design from Hello from Liz Matthews. This is last year's. But every time it's a special weekend for Common Threaded Stitcher, I grab out this design and I stitch on it during that weekend. So here's my progress so far. I should add this to my list of WIPs. I didn't realizing right now that that's not a part of my list, but I'll add that. Yeah, so I've done the center. I need to do the needle and thread through the hearts and then start the border. So I'm going to work on that August 10th to the 13th and get some more progress done on it. That'll be really fun to show you next time how far I get. Yeah, so I'm going to link all this information below so that you can find it as well and jump in and join in on Common Threaded Stitcher. It's going to be a really fun weekend. Follow the hashtag and follow the Instagram account. So there we go. Awesome. Okay, on to the next. I have a design here that I started, let me see, Zodiac March 2022. This is a design by Tiny Modernist. It was a stitch along a few years ago, and I didn't do it during the stitch along, but I saw people stitching this throughout the year, and I really fell in love with the Leo and the whole Zodiac, the sun and the moon. The design is really cool, and I had seen a few Flosstubers stitch this. And it inspired me to get the fabric and get going on it. So I have decided to do this one on a 40 count. Picture this plus Gothic. I think it looks absolutely amazing. Oh, really, really fun. I'm using all DMC colors, and as well as I have these really cute stitchy hugs from Sarcy Girl. She designs those and sell those. I'll link that below as well. I really enjoy using them. They're really fun with this project. Really great. This one's coming along. So I've done Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, and Taurus so far. My next goal, I keep going back and forth on this one. Should I just go through and spend like a week or whatever and do the whole border and just knock that out? It's driving me crazy. Because I would really love to jump around, you know. So when I pull this project out, I want to work on, maybe I want to do Leo, or maybe it's during the time of Scorpio and I feel inspired to stitch on this. I want to do the Scorpio one, but I can't get to it unless I've done majority of the border, or I start doing things like jump over here, then I can jump down this way. But what do you think, everyone? Should I just spend a week and stitch the whole border and get it done? And then I can just jump in whenever I want? Ooh. Or should I just do one design at a time and stitch a little bit of the border as I go? What do you think? I love this pattern. I want to get back to it. The colors just look amazing on this fabric. I can visualize what this is going to look like afterwards, and it's 100% going to get framed. I love it. Gold frame or something. It's going to look amazing. Love that one. Okay, and then next up we have Mocha from Mirabilia. I started Mocha in May of 2022. This is a big project. So this was one of those ones that took me a long time to kit up. I had the design in my collection for a long time. Once I decided to order the fabric and then collect all the beads and the water lily silk and all the things. And I officially have everything I need for this one. And I gave it a start. Now this one has probably had 2 to 3 weeks worked on so far on this design. She's actually quite simple to stitch, especially the dress. The dress was really, really easy to do. And her bedding wasn't too hard. So there's different parts of her bedding. It's sort of like the top part of her bedding where it's like these light blue, creamy color. And then this part of her bedding, which is, yeah, I guess it's just a blanket. And then there's some ribbon that go through. I haven't started the ribbon yet throughout the design. But I really do think the next time I pick her up, I need to do more of her bed. I don't want to complete the fairy yet because I think I'll have a hard time getting to all of the stitching the pillows and the bedposts and all the things. But this is going to be an epic stitch. The last time I worked on her, I had stitched part of the shape of her wing to just really get that visual. Oh yeah, there's a fairy in this one. And I absolutely love her hair. The way that it's got those 2 cones on each side. Only a fairy could have hair like that. Really amazing. I love Mocha. This is gonna be so good. Look at those rich colors. So amazing. Mocha, want to get back to you soon. But as I was going through my list here, I started filming, I have touched every single project that I have started in the past so far this year. So I feel like I'm making really good progress on each of my projects. This one is a Teresa Wentzler. This one's called Lily Maiden. This is a challenge for me, this stitch, but a good challenge. I really enjoy working on this pattern. I have to be in the right mood, but when it strikes, I'm like, oh, this is so good. I love Teresa. Oh, I want to do more of her designs. So this is where I'm at on my Teresa Wentzler. You can start to see, this is the halfway point of the design. So I've almost, almost completed a good chunk of the top half. Need to get that other side of her wing in there and start her dress and stitch her face. She needs a face. So pretty. And I have another Teresa Wentzler dragon that I really want to stitch. So I have to, if I want to get to it, I have to finish this one or get close to a finish before I start that one. So it motivates me to keep going on this one because soon I'll get to do a dragon. Awesome. Teresa Wentzler. Any Teresa Wentzler stitchers out there? Leave me a comment below. You're out there. I know there's many out there. Up next, we have another birthday start. I started this in August 2022. This is Dutch Beauty. Funny, my first legacy stitch was started on my birthday, Halloween at Hop Run Hollow. This is my second legacy stitch. I'm calling it that because I know this is gonna take me a long time to finish. Like maybe 2030 is when the goal is to finish this project. This is so big. I will show you how large the fabric is and where I am on this one. But yeah, this is a must for me. I have to stitch this in my lifetime. This is absolutely beautiful. I love the fabric and the floss that I've used. I used all the called for DMC. I have them on my adorable Stitchy Hugs here from Sarcy Girl with a little, little tag on them just so you can see what number they are. But I love the colors. So pretty. Very simple, but beautiful. I would just love to have this one day hanging in my home. Rain Baby right behind me here, framed. One day. This is Dutch Beauty. I'm stitching it on 40 count vintage country mocha using 1 strand of DMC over 2 linen threads. So the last time I worked on this was this year, and I had done a little bit more of the border, but that's not good enough. I am bringing this out in September. For Sampler September, I am going to make some really great progress on it. I would love to just get, I think my goal might be to get this urn here, this vase, sorry, with all of these flowers. I would love to get that part done right there, and a little bit, and this as well. There's like a little house here and a bunny rabbit and like 2 puppy dogs. So that and this vase with flowers would be amazing. Just to get those colors in there too. There's a few colors that aren't in the design yet that I haven't used yet. So I always look forward to getting all of the colors in the design. So that's gonna be good. But like, it's no joke. This is gonna be huge. I measured the fabric and it's gonna be just big enough, like just a 2-inch border around. That's how big Dutch Beauty is gonna be. Legacy stitch, must have. Oh, you know what? Maggie, Kitschy Whips, she just started Dutch Beauty, bought some really cool fabric and decided to do it in different colors, which I thought was really, really fun. Way to go, Maggie. You and I can keep each other motivated to stitch on Dutch Beauty. So exciting. Yeah, I really love what she decided to do with her fun colors. Maggie has such a fun personality and she's so colorful. So I could see why she was like, now I gotta do it on some wild fabric and fun colors that spoke to her. I think that's really cool that she did that. So way to go, Maggie. All right, next up, I want to share with you, this is Stargazer from Mirabilia. I started her in October 2022, last year. Wow, and actually I've made some really great progress on her. She's coming along. So, sort of like, it's a big design. It's a Mira, it's a big one, but simple. I didn't find it too hard to do. So here is my progress on Stargazer. This is the project that my girls might fight over one day. They each have a mermaid that I've stitched for them, and Stargazer, they were both like, oh, who's that one for, Mom? I'm like, this one's for me. And they're both like, oh, I want Stargazer. But maybe I'll have to stitch her twice, I don't know. But she's beautiful. Last time I picked her up, I had worked on completing all of the ribbons that are through her dress here and getting these colors. They were sort of some of them were almost purpley bluey colors and then light blue. So I wanted to get those colors in there, and that's officially all the colors. Those ones are done now. So I like doing that. Whenever that happens, when you get to a part in the design, you can be like, okay, finished all that one, gone. So I sort of unkit it as I go. So in her, I've already unkitted all of her hair. All of the DMC colors went back into my collection, and same with these colors here. I'm all done with them. So a different set of colors to complete the dress here. Sort of more of the dark blue, light blue colors to do those ruffles down at the bottom, and then it's going to be time to bead. Do you think I can finish Stargazer this year? Maybe. It's possible. It's definitely possible. There we go. Stargazer by Mirabilia. And then next up we have, this is Spring Quaker by Lila Studio. I started it in October 2022. Right. So my plan with Spring Quaker was I started a stitch along called Spring is Sure to Follow Sal, and the reason why I started this one in October was because that was when we had our first snowfall here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. That was my cue to get this pattern out and start stitching on it to help me get through the winter. Here in Winnipeg, we get some pretty cold temperatures during those winter months, and they last a long time. So it can be hard, but you know, those words spoke to me, spring is sure to follow. And that was initially what gravitated me towards this design. And I love it. I can't wait to show you how far I've come on this one. I had really just pulled it out once a month and worked on it for like a week. And I was able to complete the whole Quaker outside of the design. Look at that. I stitched this on a 36 count hand dyed by Rolanda Cafe Latte using all DMC. There was in the design, it did call for some classic color works, and I didn't have those, so I just stuck with all DMC, and I absolutely love how this design turned out with those colors. They just pop off of this fabric. I used 2 strands of DMC over 2 linen threads. Beautiful. So once it became spring here, I was like, okay, I'll put this one away for a little while. And I do plan to bring this out again during the first snowfall in Winnipeg again. And I'm gonna get to the center, which is that beautiful basket. See those homes in the middle and the trees, the bouquet of flowers. It's gonna be so fun. So my plan is to finish this by spring 2024. That would be amazing to have a finish on that one. And then in the springtime, when all the market releases came out, that's when I fell in love with Lila's Studio Summer Quaker. And we came up with the idea of doing another stitch along and using the hashtag live in the sunshine cell. That's right. And it's starting in just a few short days. August 1st, we're gonna start this stitch along and use the hashtag on Instagram. Really excited. August is my birthday month, so I really wanted to do something special, and this has definitely spoke to me, and so many other stitchers are really excited about this design. Many have started already, and it's really amazing. It's that Quaker on the outside, and then, you know, some people are only stitching the inside too, because they really fell in love with the inside design, with the whale and the ship and the lighthouse and all that, the mermaid. Lots to look at in that design. I'm stitching mine on 36 count again, hand dyed by Rolanda, ice blue, in all the called for DMC. So on August 1st, if you have this design, you can go on Instagram and post your progress, post your pictures of you getting started, and we'll just keep each other company as we stitch. As we go along on this stitch along, we'll encourage each other to, you know, what did you stitch yours on and how's it coming along, that sort of thing. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get started. Thank you for those who have decided that they're already gonna join. It's amazing to see the community come together and join the stitch along. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time. This next design that I have for you, this one is Bluebell by Nora Corbett. I started this one in October 2022. October was a big month for me. I started quite a few projects then. I think I can get a finish on her this year. It's very close. So the last time I worked on her, I had stitched all of the Krynic that's in her wing. This is all sparkly Krynic. What I need to do next is to do the back stitching, which will give it all the detail, which is also stitched in Krynic. All the back stitching. And I need to stitch the bluebells on the top. And then it's time to bead. Back stitching her skin, that too. I know there's lots still left to do actually, but I think I can finish her this year. These Nora Corbett pixies, they're quite fun. This one is an out of print design, but there are still many of the pixie collection that are available that you can do. But they're really fun, they're not too big. Really, if I just worked on this straight, I could finish it in a month and a half. You know, just working on one project. I think this is probably 2 to 3 weeks of work on there, maybe 2.5, somewhere around there. Oh, so good. Bluebell. Now we've reached all the projects that I've started in 2021, 2022, and we've reached all up to 2021. This was my January 1st stitch, Rapunzel by Nora Corbett. I love this design. Obviously, Rapunzel with her beautiful brown hair. With that braid, I loved it. So cute. And here is where I've been able to get to so far. I really focused on getting the top half of the design done with her face, back stitching, her hair, and part of her dress, working into this was a page break right here. So I wanted to get, you know, the dress through there, and I'm gonna go back. I have some swirls that I need to complete from her hair there. And once I do that, I'm gonna do a little bit more of her dress and get her arm and her braid in, so that that part makes sense in the design. Look at that braid. Wow. This is gonna be a big project. Oh, this is a big mirror. Love it. Definitely worthy of being a January 1st start. Wouldn't you agree? This is a good one. Okay, and then up next in April, I started Jane Hopkins, 1875 by Hands Across the Sea. My very first design by Hands Across the Sea. I'm so excited. So I'm stitching this on 46 count latte by Fiber on a Whim, using all the DMC, 1 strand over 2 linen threads. And here is where I've gotten so far. I started in the middle and worked my way to this one flower, this one rose. And then I got stuck because I was missing one color. But I have received that color, and I can get back to this anytime and fill it all into the center of the flower is all one color here. So fill that in, and then I can get back to these green leaves and work my way over to another flower. So I think I might want to work my way up and get this flower in, and then that one. Oh, I love the bouquet of flowers in the middle. Just what drew me into this design. I love it. And Karen, the recovering monogamous stitcher, she is working on this, and I'm thinking she has maybe like 10% left to go. She's done all the flower, all the bottom half, and she's just doing this top corner here. So she's working towards a finish. It's really, really inspiring, Karen. Each time I see your videos and see how far you've come on Jane Hopkins, I'm like, oh, that's gonna be me one day. I'm gonna finish this one day. Yeah, Jane Hopkins. Super excited about that design. And then another one that you know what, I should mention, Jane Hopkins. I'm gonna bring her back out in September and do Sampler September. She's gonna be on there. That is absolutely on my list of things to do for that month, as well as the 2020 Pandemic Sampler by Sarcy Girl. This one I started in May 2023. And I'm really excited to make some more progress on this. So here are the beautiful colors. This is Miss Osada Silks. That was a gift from the lovely Sarah, Lady Lugana. Her and I are stitching this together, and these are an absolute treat to work with. I'm stitching mine on 40 count Ancient by Picture This Plus, which I thought was very clever. I think, you know, those pops of gray and blue in the fabric is gonna look awesome on this sampler. I spent a long time trying to figure out the perfect fabric for this one. I couldn't decide, do I wanna go dark? Do I wanna do, you know, neutral? And this was the perfect combination. I love how it's turning out. Look at those colors, how they're popping on the fabric. I love it. So Sarah Lady Lugana is stitching this too, and she's done the center like I have and also started on one of the house. So it's my turn. I've got to get mine out and get working on this again and get caught up to where she's at, and then it'll encourage her to keep going on hers too. It's really fun to have a stitch that you can work along with a friend. Love that. Okay, and then lastly, my last new start is Treasure Island by Owl Forest Embroidery. It's a stitch along. Really exciting. Yeah. I'm stitching this on 32 count Mocha, country Mocha, not vintage, but country Mocha. And using the Owl Forest Embroidery threads that came with the kit. Me and my girlfriend are stitching this one together. We're going to be seeing each other soon, and we're hoping to put in some stitches together. So I'm trying to stay caught up with this one. So I've stitched in Jim Hopkins right here. And then this one is Dr. Livesley. And this is the beginning of Billy Bones. And in this ring will be John Silver. So I haven't stitched that one yet, but I will. The new part will come out in a week, and I believe it's this center section here. So I'm glad I've got the rings in and this part stitched so that wherever it is, I'll be able to find my placement and start stitching. This is so cool. It's got the bottle of rum in there. Ah, this is so fun. I'm enjoying this stitch very much. So there's a hashtag on Instagram. It's OF for Owl Forest _ treasure _ island. So if you want to see others who have stitched this and what they're stitching it on, because there are some conversions out there with DMC where people have made their own conversions and stitched this with the flosses that they can get their hands on, which I think is really cool. I counted up all of my projects and I have 18. And now remember I was telling you my goal is to get to 24 so that next year in May for Mania, I'll have 24 projects that I can stitch on every day throughout the year, throughout the month, just like Brenda does in Handwork Maniac. So I have a few more projects here that I'd like to show you that I'm working on kitting up. I'd like to get a start before then, and just realized this was number 19, Common Threaded Stitcher. So don't forget about the Common Threaded Stitcher coming up August 10th to the 13th. Make a note of that, mark your calendars. And then on August 1st, I'm gonna be starting Summer Quaker. So this is gonna get me up to 20 works in progress. Really exciting. And then here's another project that I have been talking about for a while. This one, and I have all the pieces now, is Shakespeare's Fairies by Mirabilia. That's coming up right away, everyone. I have amazing fabric. This one is a 32 count, picture this plus, Nocturne. That's gonna look amazing. Wow, very excited. I have a cute bag that I'm storing all the pieces in. I got the floss and all the beads. I'm ready to go. So that's coming up. I don't have a date in mind, but when the mood strikes, that's coming out. And then I'm working on the Woodland Fairy. I have the fabric for her. I went on a kick. I went through all of my collection and found all of my Mirabilias, all of my Nora Corbetts, and it's been a goal of mine this year to get them all kitted up with all the materials and get them started. How exciting is that? I'm stitching these ones, like they're not going anywhere. You know, they were in my collection, they were my plan in my lifetime. I'm going to stitch them, so why not get a start? And it'll help me build up my WIP collection as well. So I have all the pieces for that one. I've got the DMC, all the beads, the Krynic, ready to go. And then I also have another Mirabilia. This one is the Cottage Garden Fairy. This one I'm really excited about. It's funny, I just started kitting this one up and it's quickly jumping ahead. Like I think I want to start this one before Shakespeare's Fairies. I don't know. I opened up the design and I saw how simple the stitching is on this one. It's a lot of block stitching, which is my favorite to do. Look at her dress. And you know, these ruffles in through this part, like it's all just block stitching. This is so easy. And in the wing, like, yeah, there's beads and there's cryneck and there's back stitching and things like that, but it's a really easy design. And so I have this fabric. Now, what was this one? Did I keep the tag? Yeah, so this one is a 32 count linen. Picture this plus oaken. Wouldn't you agree this is gonna look amazing? Yes. So I have two projects now that are ready to be kitted up with Picture This Plus. I've never done Picture This Plus for a mirror before. I usually, I tend to stick to the called for fabric, stitching on the witch elt linen, and I love it, but it's time for a change. It's time to spice it up a little bit. I haven't gone as far as getting like an opalescent, but I have a couple of smaller Nora Corbett pixies that I'm thinking about that maybe I could do on opalescent fabric. That could be fun. But for a bigger mirror, I'm gonna stick with, try these Picture This Plus out. But I have kitted up most of the colors. I believe I have them all now. I'm working on, I need a few more beads, but I can get started without that. And I have the cryneck. And Jen from Embroidery Marketplace, she helped me because there was a couple of crynecks that she didn't have and I couldn't find. And we decided to go with a Verissois metallic. So that's really fun. I can't wait to try this out. I think it's gonna be amazing. It looks the same as number 4 braid. It has like a softer feel to it. So I'm really excited to give it a go and try that out. So I made a little conversion with a couple of those Verissois sparkle thread metallics, but I think it's gonna be amazing. We did a floss toss and everything, put all the colors on the fabric, and it looked awesome. So I'm very excited. So Cottage Garden Fairies jumping up the line, I think. I don't know. I really love the butterfly wing and the wand. It's my favorite part. Oof. But I think she's gonna be a really fun stitch. So that's exciting. And then I also have a new Nora Corbett reindeer that I'm planning to start in December. So that will help bump me up. There's another one. This one is Dancer by the Christmas Eve Couriers by Nora Corbett. That's coming up. And then I also have a couple of designs here that have been really calling me. I don't have a Blackbird in my lineup, and I did one last year. I did What Remains by Blackbird, and I absolutely love that stitch. It's finished. I need to get it framed, but I would love to have another Blackbird in my lineup of stitches. So this one is Little Birds. I need fabric, I need floss. I don't have anything yet, but it's a goal of mine to get this kitted up and get it started. And then I already talked about the dragon that I really want to stitch. This one is called the Storyteller. I'm very excited to do this one. Need to make a little more progress on my Lily Maiden, but this is going to take me a while to kit up. I'm going to need fabric, and it calls for a lot of DMC. So it's going to be a little challenge to get that all kitted up, but looking forward to it though. That's going to be a lot of fun. So those are some of the projects that are coming up this year. And I wanted to remind you about the Summer Quaker Stitch Along starting August 1st. Live in the Sunshine Sal on Instagram. Use the hashtag if you are planning on joining us. Also, I wanted to mention my girlfriend, Erica. She is starting to make project bags, and she's dabbling in a few different projects. And she had recently made this prototype, and she sent it to me to show you all. And this one's for me, for my collection. But it's basically, we had fallen in love with the idea of having a caddy that would go beside your couch, or wherever you're stitching. You can even use it on a table, and to be able to store your beads, store your needles and your scissors and things like that. So she has created her own. It's got this cute little button on the side here. Open it up, and a spot where you can store your scissors. There's 3 different spots here for all your little stitchy tools, and then a place to store your pins. And she's created a dish where you could store your beads. So this one was a prototype. This was the first one she made. She had put in some buttons on the corners so that you could unbutton it and make it nice and flat, and then button it back up. But I think she's made new ones that don't have that, but still has the dish. And then on this side, this was a really cool feature that I thought she added, was a zippered, so that you could put in, like, if you had a packet of needles, or you wanted to store a few threads for your project, or whatever it is that you're working on, you know, you sort of lay this out on the table and away you work. So she's gonna be creating like a place where she can sell these. She's still working on all of the details. But you can follow her on Instagram if this is something you're like, ooh, I want to see more of these, and maybe interested in getting one. Her name is, on Instagram, is Fiber and Floss, and I'm going to link it all below so that you can go follow her and wait for an update. So I'm imagine in September she's going to be ready to launch all of her creations. And if you're interested in getting something like that, you can follow her on Instagram, and I'll be sure to, in one of my videos, let you all know too that she's ready to go. But she's really excited about this new project, and so am I. I think the things that she creates are really amazing, and I want to share that with all of you. So yeah, go follow Erica on Instagram, and yeah, hear more about some of her creations and some of the cool fabrics that she's used for her designs. It's gonna be really amazing. That's it for me today. I've shown you all of my projects, everything that I have worked on since 2021. There were many other projects that I have, you know, finished since I started Flosstube, and I hope to show those to you again one day. Maybe you know, at the end of the year, I'll bring them out again and show them to you. That would be a lot of fun. But thank you for joining me on my 2-year anniversary WIP parade. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be back again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.